Okay, so what I wanted to do today was talk about Chris as a character and how I think he's going to continue being in the story within Resident Evil 9. I know a lot of people have a lot of varying opinions of the character, especially with how popular he is in a sense of how many games he's in. Well, he is one of the more popular characters. He's not the most popular, but in terms of his actual appearances, he's probably makes more of an appearance than anyone else. That being said, I do like Chris a lot, and I think his kind of involvement in 7 and 8 is fine. I think a lot of his involvement in Village, to be honest though, does kind of make the story feel a bit weird because of things that he says and does. But in terms of him being there, it's pretty cool to see. But I do think Resident Evil 9, in some fashion, will end his story. And there is two ways I think they could do it. I'm going to go over each way in this video. So if you do agree with me, let me know. If you don't agree with me, leave your own thoughts in the comments as always, and without any further ado, let's get into it. So the end of Resident Evil Village, again, spoilers if you haven't played the game. I'd imagine you have at this point, but if you haven't played the game, ignore it now. But the end of Resident Evil Village, Chris and his team, fight through the village to help Ethan kind of beat Miranda, and then as the game comes to an end, you figure out that the BSAA, when they arrived, weren't using soldiers, they were using bioweapons. Now again, if you don't know the backstory of the BSAA, if you're a newer kind of player to the series, the BSAA are a team that sole purpose is to go and find where bioterrorism is happening and deal with it before it gets out of hand. Chris is one of the founding members of that team. He's one of the first members of that team, so him seeing that is probably not the best thing for them, because it definitely shows that they're some kind of corrupt now, or doing things they shouldn't be doing to kind of benefit themselves, and it's not a good look for them. Understandably, Chris is pissed at the end of the game and orders his team to go directly to the BSA headquarters in Europe, and the game comes to a close at that point. And I do feel like hopefully the story with 9 is focused on the BSAA, and it might potentially see Chris being the main character of the game. So the first idea is kind of like this big hoorah for Chris, okay, like he's going to confront them, he's going to fight them and figure out what's going on, and I think in the process of doing that, either one, he'll die, and like kind of do a big hero sacrifice moment, or he'll complete the mission, his last mission, and that's it. He's done. He's done with it. Like, that's it. No more. And he'll kind of retire at that point. I honestly think a death is long overdue in the Resident Evil series. Okay, the main characters that have been there since the very start of the game, they're all still there. They're all alive and kicking, and as much as they do kill characters off, there is characters that are introduced in a game that die. Luis dies, Marvin dies. I think the last massive death that happened in the series is Wesker, and that was a long time ago now. And in terms of a character being killed off, I don't know who it would really be. I do think Chris is kind of in the iron sights for that at the moment, because he is really involved in the story and he is getting on a bit, so I think they can kind of be done with Chris, but they need to kill off a character at some point. If you're going to have a continuing storyline, you need to throw some curveballs in there at some point. You need to kill off a character, you need to kind of bring a character back, which they did with Chris obviously, but like stuff like that needs to happen more, else it just kind of feels like they're all kind of got this like infinite plot armor where they never die. And even Ethan died, quote unquote died, and while he's not been in the series as long, they still killed him off. So you could do that with a bigger character quite easy as well. Would you get backlash? Probably, but that's the same with anything, like any TV show, any other game that's a continuing storyline. You kill off a character, people are going to be pissed, but it works. It draws people in. It's such a big moment, and if people don't like it, maybe kill him off in a way that suggests he's not really dead. And then obviously the other idea is the fact that he will retire and quit and just leave it all behind. That could be a really good finish as well, where he really goes to his extremes to get this mission complete, and then even calls in the help of other characters that we know. He's very close with Jill, Claire, Leon. He could ask them all for help. They all know each other, so it's possible they introduce them into the game. I do genuinely think there will be another character from the older games in Resident Evil 9. I think it's long overdue. Who it will be, not too sure. I kind of hope it's Jill, but it could be anyone. So I'm willing to bet there'll be another older character in RE9 to help Chris, or even help Rose or Mia, because let's not forget they said the Winter storyline was a trilogy of games. So 7, 8, 9 the Winters, in some way or another, are still involved. Is it Mia? Is it Rose? Is it both? Is it Ethan? We don't know. But, you know, it still revolves around them. They're still involved in the game, so they will be back in some fashion, I would imagine. Maybe Rose is a playable character, maybe Mia is the playable character, or maybe, you know, you play as one of the older characters, but the story is focused on the Winters. So, you know, you don't know. It could be anything. But that pretty much wraps it up. I think, yeah, I really do think that Chris will probably get something in terms of a good exit from the games, whether it's Resident Evil 9 or a future game. I do think he's been in it for a long time. He obviously has been in it for a long time. It's been since the beginning. He's been in it a lot more than anyone else. And I think it is about time that either put him aside and be done with his character story and his arc, or, you know, give another older character the spotlight for a bit. You know, Leon, Claire, Jill, you know, Rebecca, Sherry, they're all there waiting to be used, and they just gotta put them in there somewhere. So let me know what you think they'll do with Chris. Do you think he'll die? Do you think he'll kind of step back and retire? Or do you think something else will happen? Do let me know. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Remember to leave a like on the video and subscribe for more Resident Evil content, as well as other Capcom game content as well. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.